You guys know the mission. Find the 3 nickels we need for this Dansko Jefferson nickel album, find some Buffalo nickels for this nickel album, or find some silver and or varieties during this 2-box nickel hunt. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure. Welcome back to the channel. We've got a 2-box nickel hunt, boxes 86 and 87 of the Series 4 collection album, missing the 39S, the 50D, and the 42S Silver War nickel. We're looking for Buffalo nickels as well, any 2024 Denver nickels, and I no longer need to pull out any 2025 Denver nickels because I've got a whole box of them fresh from the bank, but I could find some 2025 Ps because I don't have any of those. Let's crack into this first box. Taking a quick peek at both boxes from the holes in the bottom, it looked like we had some older Jefferson designs in here. And yeah, we do. We do have some older Jeffersons mixed in with a lot of the newer modern strikes. And hopefully that means we'll find some silver and some oldies and some goodies. All right, I'll bring you guys back in when I have my first find of the first box of this 2-box hunt. Roll number 3. Our first nickel from the 40s is going to be a 1941 Denver with some damage. Roll number 4 had an end coin that was old, and I thought it was a 59 because I couldn't quite see the date, but when I took it out of the wrapper, it's a 1939, and if you remember my last video, we found a ton of these, none with mint marks. Hopefully it has an S, although it does have roller end damage. It does not have an S. Here we go again. Let's double check it for the DDR. I don't see it. Most certainly a Philadelphia. And I don't see the Henning notch. 1939 Jefferson nickel on the board. Roll number 6 is going to give us one of the slickest 1947 Jefferson nickels you've ever seen. 1947 out of Denver. Well, we might be onto something here. So far, the board has been pretty good. I just grabbed roll number 11 out of the box, literally just dumped it out and hit it, and I see 2 things. One, there's a Buffalo nickel back there peeking out, and when I perused down here, I see a second Buffalo nickel right there. So there's 2 Buffalo nickels in the same roll, and that doesn't happen very often, my friend. So this could be a good box. It looked like it could be a good box. And we've got 2 Buffalo nickels no matter what in the same roll. The first one is a 1937 out of Philadelphia. And the second one is another Philly minted or no mint mark that I can see. And I think that's an older one. I think that's 1923. It could be 20. No, I guess it could be 25 as well. I think it's 1923. Let me see if I can wipe away the date a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's 1923 through the camera. I'm going to call it 1923, and let's just double check, see if there's a mint mark actually. No, there's not a mint mark. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. If it's not a 1923, I'll let you know in the next clip. If it is a 1923, we'll be with you on the next find. Holy cow, 2 Buffalo nickels in the same roll, and we might need them both for the album. Could be a great box. Roll number 15, a Jefferson nickel from 1940 out of Denver. And while I have you here, this one looks a little bit older. It is 1959 Denver. All right, back to the hunt. Roll number 23. Another nickel from 1940 out of Philly. No Tatanka since that roll with 2 of them. Of course, we didn't see any end coins, so maybe it's just luck that 2 are in the same roll. Either way, there could be more, so let's go find them. Roll number 28, and we had a feeling there would be more. There's at least another one. Just grab the roll, flatten it out, and the 5th coin in is a Buffalo nickel, and it looks slick. It looks slick, and I don't see a mint mark. Yeah, no mint mark. And I don't know if I'm going to get a date on this one without using Nic-A-Date. Let me see if I can get a date. If I can't, I'll bring you guys back after I've Nic-A-Dated it. All right, we've used my handy dandy Nic-A-Date. I actually have a video link of how to use it. I'll throw it up there for you guys to check out. That being said, we did get a date pretty easily. You guys can see it right here. It's a 1916. And yes, I did check to see if it had the DDO under the scope. It's hard to make out under the scope, under heavy magnification, but definitely a 1916, and definitely don't see the doubled date. Either way, this might be one we can use as well, and they're getting older. 37, 23, and 1916. Can't get mad at that. Will there be more? Roll number 32. Another nickel from 1947. And that's going to be a 1947 San Francisco. Not a key date or a semi-key date, but definitely a lower mintage, and we will take that for the board. Roll 35. Our first Jefferson nickel from 1946. And it's a 46 Philadelphia. Roll number 36. Another first. A 1948 Jefferson nickel out of Denver. Roll 41. Coincidentally, will give us a 1941 out of Denver. Roll number 42 will give us a 1946 Jefferson nickel yet again. Another one from Philadelphia. Roll number 48 is going to give us another Jefferson nickel from 1946. But this time it's a Denver. Well, that's going to do it for box one of this 2-box hunt. It was a great box overall. Yeah, it wasn't epic because we didn't get any of the nickels we needed for the Dansko Jefferson album, and we didn't get any war nickels. But getting 3 Buffalo nickels in a box, we've already got a herd, and if we can get one more, we'd have a stampede. We also got the 39. There was a 47S and a couple of nicer 1958 Denvers. Don't think they'll upgrade. They could, along with 7 2024 Denvers, a total of 32 finds on the board, 25 being older nickels from the hunt. Good first box. Second box is from a bank across the street, picked up on the same day. So hopefully it was on the same truck and it comes from the same batch, because we'd love to get that 4th Buffalo nickel and or some silver, and of course, some of the better dates that we need. All right. Looks like another older Jefferson nickel box. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 9 enders that I can see on the top side that are the older design. So let's get this hunt going. See if we can get on the Buffaloes again. See if we can find some silver or some other goodies. Roll number 1 of box number 2 is going to give us an early find. It's a 1940 Jefferson nickel. And that's out of San Francisco. Roll number 9 is going to give us another 1941 Jefferson nickel. This time out of Philly. And I'll make a quick note. I'm pretty certain this is not going to be the sister box. The paper feels a little thicker. And we're finding 2025 Denver Jefferson nickels in the roll, and we didn't find those in the other one. I'm not going to keep these. I already have a full box of them. I'm just pulling them aside to show you that we're finding things that were not consistent with the other box. Doesn't mean there's not Buffaloes or silver, but just wanted you to know that. Now back to the hunt. Roll number 11 of box 2, or 61 of the hunt, will give us a 1947 Jefferson nickel again out of Philadelphia. Roll number 64 had an end coin that I missed. The last coin on the back side of the roll is a 1940 out of Philadelphia. Roll number 69 is going to give us our first Jefferson nickel from 1949 out of Philadelphia. Last look at the 2025 nickels. The box is starting to be overloaded with them. Time to send them back. We're now up to roll number 84 of the hunt. The box has gotten pretty cold since the last find, but we do have another find to share with you all. It's a 1946 out of Denver. Roll number 87 is going to give us another first and the oldest Jefferson nickel you can find, the first year issue, 1938. If it has a mint mark, it'll be a key date, although the 1938 is still a lower mintage. So let's see what it is. 1938. And it's a 1938 Philly, the most common of the 1938s, but I'll still take it. Don't find those too often in my hunts. Roll number 88. Jefferson nickel from 1940 out of Philly. Roll number 91 of the hunt, and we are going to get to the Buffalo Stampede that I was talking about. Hunting down the roll, probably the 9th or 10th coin in. Buffalo nickel number 4, and it's in pretty good shape. We got partial horn, probably 35 to 38. Yep, 1937 Philly might be an upgrader for the last one if we need it for the book. Well, let me put it over here. 4 buffaloes, 9 rolls left. Same roll, a few coins later. A 1949 that has roller damage end as well. 1949 Philly. Roll 95, our 3rd nickel from 1949. I believe our 3rd from Philly. Well, that's going to do it for box 2 of this 2-box hunt. Kind of a tougher box, but we have good finds on the board. A total of 54 finds, which means we only got 22 more after getting 34 in box 1 for box 2. I have the best finds at the bottom. All of these are more common and probably not upgraders. Let's cover the better finds. We got a 1984 Canadian nickel, and if my memory serves me correctly, we found a couple of those in the previous hunt. A total of 11 2024 Denvers. We'll take those. We got some coins I always pull aside. I keep all the 1939s. It's got roller damage. It's not an upgrader. The 57P might be an upgrader, as well as the 58 Denver. We'll have to see on those two. Couple of better date coins, the 1938 Philly and the 1947 San Francisco. The best finds of the hunt is going to be the Buffalo Stampede. We got a 1916, a 1923, and 2 1937s out of Philly. I'm hoping that 1 or 2 of these will go in the Buffalo Nickel album and maybe an upgrader. Unfortunately, no additions for the Jefferson Nickel album, but let me run through these really quick. I'll give you guys a look at the books and some final thoughts on this 2-box nickel hunt. All right, we have finished comparing all of today's finds to both albums. Unfortunately, no upgrades, no additions for the Series 4 Jefferson Nickel album as expected. Only close call was a 48D, but my 48D, I pulled it out, has a better reverse, so no upgrades here. The good news is we do have an addition for the Buffalo Nickel album. We did not have a 1923, so we'll slot that guy in there. I actually had a 1916 that I Nic-A-Dated, and even though this one has a better Nic-A-Date date area, that one has a better reverse overall and slightly more detail. So didn't upgrade that one. It does have the scratch. I know it looks better on the camera right now, but it's not. And then the 1937 Philly, we already had a nice one in the book. I pulled it out. There is a partial horn, more so than this one, which I thought might be an upgrader, but honestly, they're about equal. Maybe that one's slightly better with a better luster to it. So no upgrade on the Buffalo Nickels, but an addition. Now, for the total, we've hunted 87 boxes for Series 4. We're still missing those 3 nickels, 39S, 42S silver, and the 50D key date. So we get stuck there again. But for the Buffalo Nickel album, we've hunted 38 boxes worth. We've now slotted 14 of the 64 Buffaloes after adding the 1923. And we have found 20 total Buffaloes this year in 38 boxes, better than a 1 Buffalo every other box. And it helps getting 3 in box 1 today. Hopefully, despite no upgrades, no additions for the Jefferson Nickel album, and no silver yet again, you guys still enjoyed this 2-box Buffalo Nickel Stampede hunt. If you did, you know I certainly would appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching.